Hello, I'm James, and I'm an old guy in Europe. Hello and welcome to another episode of An Old Guy in Europe. Several years back in California, before moving here to Portugal, I was looking at some YouTube videos to get some more information about where I was thinking about moving. And I came across a few videos on the Espinho Monday Market, which is a significant and well-known feature of Espinho, or so they said. And in these videos, they talked about this massive market that was just, crazy busy, all this stuff. But after arriving to Portugal and on my first visit to Espinho, I had a few hours between checking out of my Airbnb and catching the train back to Lisboa, and thought, well, I checked this market out, and I was absolutely taken aback at the size and scope of this place. It was more like being at an amusement park than at an open market, on a weekly market. So I guess it's kind of like seeing photos or videos of the Grand Canyon and then actually being there in real life. I just couldn't believe the difference in the feel of it. So the Espinho Monday Market is open every Monday, year-round, rain or shine, and it is indeed huge. Roughly the size and contents of 3 or 4 Costcos, if you're familiar with that from the US, or maybe IKEAs or IKEAs, but gigantic and full of just massive amounts of almost anything you could think of. So for this episode, I really wanted to capture as close to an actual experience of being there as possible. So at one point I just stopped narrating and mostly just walked through the market, capturing as much as I could. But even then, I only covered about 25 or 30% of the entire market. And even that took me an hour and 40 minutes. So I managed to edit out a lot of the just sort of standing and waiting for the flow of human traffic to move. I guess it's kind of like being on a busy highway during commute time, stuck in commute traffic. And it still ended up being over a 45-minute episode. At any rate, I hope I managed to capture a realistic experience of this event, and that you can simply sit back, relax, and enjoy this long but hopefully worth it experience with me. For those who may not already know, I live in Espinho, Portugal. And Portugal is the westernmost country in continental Europe. Porto, which is one of the largest cities in Portugal, is located toward the north of Portugal, and Espinho is approximately 30 kilometers or 20 miles south of Porto. The Espinho market is in the mid to southern portion of Espinho, with the northernmost end being adjacent to the Centro Multimedia, or Multimedia Center. The market is nearly a kilometer or nearly half a mile long north to south. And the northern third of the market is a full city block wide, with the remaining 2/3 running about half a block wide. So off we go to check out the Monday Market in Espinho, which, like virtually every other thing in Espinho, is about a 10-minute walk from where I live. I start by heading east with the ocean behind me, and eventually we'll be turning right or south to the market. Heading east, every time I look to the right, where I'm obviously facing south, and each of these streets that I look south down run practically the entire length of Espinho, and virtually all of them head to the center of Espinho. Arriving at Rua 20, or 20th Street, I will now be heading south in the direction of the market. From here, it's approximately 1 kilometer or kilometer, depending on where you're from, and that equates to about 0.6 of a mile to the market. And now that I'm heading south, every time I look to the right, I'm looking in the direction of the ocean, and on many of the streets, you can see all the way to the ocean. Rua 20 is one of 3 main streets that connect the north end of Espinho to the southern end of Espinho, and therefore tend to be 3 of the busiest roads in Espinho. And here's something I've never seen before: a car driving in the pedestrian lane. As we head up these steps, we approach the main plaza in front of Espinho's City Hall, which is called a Câmara, or Câmara Municipal. Like so many of the towns and villages along the coast of Portugal, Espinho's origins were in local coastal fishing. And this monument is a testament to those origins. It is an old and traditional boat design known as the Barco de Chavega, which essentially is a boat specifically designed for seine fishing from the shores of Portugal. Its steeply curved bow and stern allow it to navigate easily through the waves, and its flat bottom makes it possible to make beach launches and landings. Traditionally, they are brightly painted, and many have humorous or lighthearted names. This one says "Vamos andando," or "Let's get moving," or "Let's get going." These very same boats, though now motorized, are used every day in Espinho to bring in the daily haul of fresh fish. And now we're just a short walk to the Monday Market in Espinho. Through the park, past the Multimedia Centro, or Multimedia Center, which is used for movies and performances, and I'm told even has a museum inside it. A future episode of An Old Guy in Europe, perhaps. Through the courtyard. And the opening act for the market, one small booth just to warm us up for the main event. And here we are at the northern end of the Monday Market in Espinho, which is a full city block wide and nearly 10 blocks long. Keep in mind as we walk through this market that I only filmed maybe 25 or 30% of the entire capacity of the market. As you'll see, the market is fairly well organized, starting with produce, fruits, vegetables, so on, other living plants, fruit trees, decorative plants, so on, leather handbags, food preparation, or prepared foods, and meats and breads, and then into baked goods, cured meats, prepared food for eating on site, then into bed linens and kitchen linens and kitchenware, and then clothing and shoes and wallets and backpacks. You'll see as I walk through, it's fairly well organized. And as I say, I'll keep reminding you, this is just one aisle of 4 as I head south.
Não, vamos aqui a sua vizinha.
Vizinha para lá, não digo para você. Eu saio lá no Morumbi, né? Deixa eu ver aqui. Os paraguaios são brancos. Olha lá, não quero nada disto. Falta. Oh, amor, vai estar a baralhar tanto. Acho que calma dia, ah, poxa, que chique. Vai ser andar, né?
Grande, grande. Olha, isto também é muito fixe. Olha outra vez.
Isso era uma aula.
Estava frio, peguei.
Là, si, c'est là.
Non mais ça va, ça va, ça va.
Resta algum. Galinha penada.
Dário, vamos por fora, filho.
Essas são. Mas é que você diz.
Você ganha dinheiro, mas depois não ganha dinheiro. Vamos começar para gastar dinheiro.
Olha lá, Bubu, veja.
Depois não compensa dar 120 paus. Allez, quelqu'un.
Oh, lindas! Aproveitem! Só 4 Como é? Queres apanhar?
Eu?
Aproveitem, ó! Olhem só, 4 euros! Lindas, alegrar, enfiar! Qualquer peça, qualquer peça. Olha, 4 euros, 4 euros, 4 euros, basta mais.
Era o Sonic, que é? O Sonic, sim. Tamanho. Não, que eu
Olha que gordo!
Agora vem por baixo da bancada.
E é pequenito, mas dá mais trabalho que os grandes.
Vamos falar 2,5. Não. 6 partes.
Mais fogo. É o M na mesma. Aquelas tens de eu não é diferente.
Farina. A patroa deixou ali outra ali. Deixou os milhares. Muito obrigada. Deixou a chefe. Olha, imagina que esta gente passa. Imagina. Olha, está a ouvir? Concordo com a chefe. Está caladinha aí. Bom, é isso mesmo. Obrigada, até a semana. Obrigada.
Mas eu ando sobressaltada com ele. Ontem, a gente não sabe, ele pode não sentir.
Passa a ser 4 conjuntos. É 3 e 6. Olha, obrigadíssimo. Para o outro quartinho.
Sim, estou lá.
Não, ela não quer. Obrigada. Aí eu não quero ir por aqui, mas tem uma dourada ali dentro. Et même, c'est pas les mêmes marchandises. Para 1,60, são todas estas. Aproveitem!
Olha, sem 25 euros, aproveitem!
Tem já de caminho para a escola. Ó pai, não gosto. Para a escola, vamos ir para a escola. Mas aquilo pesa. É que acabou de ir a partida. Sacas caríssimos.
Deve ter mais tamanho.
Leia na Suíça. Leia na Suíça. Leia na Suíça.
Ah bah une. Je vais faire bien une.
Wow.
Ah, moi je suis Bouygues, mais faites
C'est ouais, c'est la même chose. Merci beaucoup. 00 351. Merci.
Je vous en prie.
Merci madame.
Merci beaucoup.
Quanto é que tem que olhar para a nossa vida?
Vou tirar essa para
Também tem assim com mais que uma cor. Eu acho que isto só é.
Entièrement, ouais, bien sûr. Non mais non, Émile.
Là, il y a du monde là.
Je pense que tu mens avec une elle a pas de compte.
Objet, un truc qui peut emmener
Ah oui, là, elles sont pas.
Já te vou ajudar, está bem? É só para usar assim aqui assim, certo? Mas ela é compridinha. Vocês experimentam já aí ao meio e já.
Vai, Masco. Lá, Bubu. Lá, Bubu. Canalha agora. Temos uma coisa, a canalha agora. Olha, diga-se bem agora. Henrique.
Queres aquilo para ela, não queres? É que ela também quer.
Il est malade.
Até para levar a Lisboa. Sabe como é Lisboa?
A pessoa tranquila.
Zé, espera aí.
Calma, não quero.
Lá está, nem vem para.
De toute façon, vous avez pas voulu.
Mais je pense qu'ils vont pas descendre en dessous de 20. C'était...
Agatha, se tu n'as pas ce prix, ouais, dans ce paquet. É, mas continuar assim.
€1 depois do e-mail.
Ela dá para os filhos, dá para os pagos, dá para os pequeninos, dá para o carro, dá para os... Olha esta Pode.
Восемь штук.
Phew, okay. Well, as fun and as interesting as that was, the empathic introvert in me was very happy to step out into the refreshingly cool breeze and open space for my short walk home. I hope I was able to convey at least some small sense of the vast scope and size of this market. Again, I was there and walking through for an hour and 40 minutes, which I managed to get edited down to about 25 or 26 minutes, which, as I said earlier, reflects only about 25% to 30% of the entire market experience. So you can get a sense of just how incredibly huge this market is. So on my walk home, I retraced my steps all the way to the Câmara Municipal Espinho, which is at the end of Rua 19, or 19th Street, which I pointed out in my previous episode 60, taking the train to Vila Nova de Gaia. Rua 19 is essentially an outdoor mall, closed off to automobile traffic and lined on either side with shops, markets, and cafes. I chose this route to give you yet another perspective of Espinho. From here, I turn right on Rua 16, or 16th Street, heading north. As you may recall, at the very beginning of this video, as I was heading toward the market, I turned and looked down a tree-lined street that went all the way through Espinho, and I'm now heading the opposite direction toward home. One final left-hand turn, heading west toward the ocean and to home. I really hope you've enjoyed this 2-hour journey of mine to the market and home again, as much as I've enjoyed sharing it with you. Thanks again for watching.